Welcome back to OVN. It's launch day. Let's get right into the Destiny 2 update 3.0.0 patch notes. If you can, a like and a subscribe would be very much appreciated. Let's get into it. Vendor armor, Vanguard, Crucible, and Gambit vendors now all reward a prime version of the respective ritual engram for completing the weekly challenge. These engrams award the ritual's new Season of the Hunt armor on a knockout list until the full set has been obtained. Once the full set is obtained, the engrams drop rerolls of the ritual armor as well as world weapons. All armor dropped from these engrams is high stat armor. The base non-prime version of Vanguard, Crucible, and Gambit engrams now drop world armor until the respective ritual set has been obtained from the prime ritual engram. Once the ritual set has been obtained from the prime ritual engram, low stat ritual armor will drop. Zavala, Shaxx, and Drifter now sell low stat versions of their new Season of the Hunt armor. Armor must be obtained from the ritual's prime engram before it can be purchased. Engrams. Engram previews for most gear engrams have been removed. The following engrams have new versions created in Season of the Hunt: Legendary World, Prime, Crucible, Gambit, Vanguard, Gunsmith, and Iron Banner. Older versions of these engrams will be removed from the game in Season 13. Players with the backstock of these engrams in the Postmaster are advised to extract and decrypt these engrams before the end of Season of the Hunt. Economy. Spider has made several changes to his inventory as follows. He has grown jealous of the large stocks of legendary shards Guardians have saved up, and now covets them. To that end, he will no longer part with legendary shards. He has obtained enhancement prisms to sell, but will part with no more than 3 per week for each customer. He has priced these at 400 legendary shards each. Enhancement cores are now fixed in price at 30 legendary shards each. They do not ascend with each purchase, but are limited to 5 per day for each customer. Zavala and Shaxx boons and the Eververse gleaming boons have been deprecated and can be dismantled to recover the original full purchase price. Economy, currencies, Faction of the Nine, Dead Orbit, New Monarchy, Future War Cult faction tokens, and all rare destination materials can now be safely discarded and can be deleted as a full stack. Banshee 44 and the Spider will accept planetary materials from vaulted destinations for the duration of the Season of the Hunt. These materials will be deprecated in a future season, and players are advised to spend them during Season of the Hunt. Season Pass rewards have been refreshed for Season of the Hunt. Additional Bright Dust has been added to the Season Pass reward track as follows. The free is 5,200 to the already present 2,300 for a total of 7,500. The paid track added 2,600 to the already present 400 for a total of 3,000. Weekly bounties will now award 100 Bright Dust. Eververse. Starting in Season of the Hunt, Bright Engrams will now contain all Eververse content from Season 1 to 3 seasons prior to the current seasons. Practical examples there. Ghosts. All existing and new Ghost shells except the Generalist shell will now have energy levels and access to mods with various energy costs instead of being preloaded with specific perks. Ghosts now have 4 mod slots. 3 are unlocked by default, and the 4th is unlocked by masterworking the shell. Kill tracker functionality remains only on ghosts that originally had access to that perk. Other pre-existing ghost perks have been turned into mods, and some have been made into more globalized versions of their past functionality. A selection of mods are available on all ghost shells by default, with the remaining ones obtainable via various gameplay sources. No mods will be obtained from the Eververse, and Eververse purchased shells will no longer have advantages or functional differences from ghost shells earned in-game. Sparrows. All sparrows intrinsically fast summon now. Newly acquired or reacquired from collection sparrows no longer roll on the Speed Demon perk. Players are advised to repull any sparrows they presently are using that have fast summon to gain a new perk combo. General fixes. Matter Scourge ornament can no longer be reacquired from collections. Last Perdition on Shaxx now dismantles for less than at its vendor's cost. Universal ornament item descriptions no longer refer specifically to Year 3 items. Emotes now display flavor text on the item detail screen or when previewed on the Eververse store. Added icons to weapons that were missing the release watermark. Exotic ciphers can no longer be added to the player's vault. Players saving an exotic cipher in their vault must remove it and spend it before they can acquire a new one. Armor affinity now display on player inspect. Bounties. Lectern of Enchantment weekly bounties no longer reference nightmares on Io or Titan. Progress is now made from defeating nightmares on the moon. Powerful sources. Weekly rituals with powerful rewards released with Shadowkeep no longer grant powerful rewards. These rewards have been moved to new rituals released with Beyond Light. Once the character's gear power have reached the soft cap of 1200 in Beyond Light, it will now be possible to receive small powerful upgrades from some normal drops. These will come from Strikes, Crucible, and Gambit, as well as some seasonal sources, and are not subject to daily nor weekly lockouts. These can drop until the power cap 1250 in Beyond Light. Reduce the power level of some vendor token rewards. Player identity. Login screens have a darkened background, much appreciated. Updated the full screen menus to have a dark background style. Player waypoints now display season rank HUD waypoints. Character creation. Change selection from male-female to masculine-feminine. Guardian head and hair models have been replaced with improved versions. Several color swatches have changed to better represent the applied color. Players' previous head selections are still used. Added toggle functionality to the character screen, allowing the player to make a choice between light and dark subclasses. Character screen visuals updated depending on player choice between light and dark. Triumphs. Triumph screen updates. Navigation has been added to triumphs and seals to toggle between active and legacy content. Legacy triumphs and seals have a new visual style to distinguish them from active content. Medals, exotic catalysts, and lore have been given their own section within the triumph screen. Improved lore screen added for better book page navigation. Triumphs now display both the current step reward and final completion reward. Triumphs have had an overhaul and are now categorized in a new way. Lifetime Triumph sets will persist across all seasons and introduces new players to the core aspects of Destiny. Destination Triumph sets will move to the Legacy section when the related destination enters the Destiny content vault. Seasonal Triumph sets will move to the Legacy section at the end of each year. Legacy Triumph sets and seals are found in the Legacy section. Legacy sets will not apply to your active Triumph score. Players can still see their Legacy set scores and which triumphs they completed in time. All the Legacy seals and the related triumphs can be seen on the Legacy page. Titles for completed Legacy seals can still be equipped. Several new stat trackers were added to the system, including but not limited to weapon type stat trackers gated behind new Triumph completions. Prophecy dungeon stat trackers have been moved to the open world category, matching other dungeon related stat trackers. Combat. Weapons. Hand cannons, aggressive, increased rate of fire from 110 to 120. Broke out aggressive hand cannons, allowing custom tuning of stats. Adaptive and precision. Range stat now has more impact on minimum damage falloff range for both archetypes. Damage falloff for 100 range now starts at 25 meters, was 20. Precision hand cannon, 180 rate of fire magazine scaled up by 37%. Note, this also affects exotics with that rate of fire. Lightweight, folded into adaptive, moved all lightweight hand cannons to adaptive subfamily, so 150 to 140. This includes Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten. One exotic hand cannon will retain 150 rate of fire. We aren't going to leave that to speculation. It's beautiful. It does solar damage. It makes enemies explode. It's Sunshot. Sniper rifles adjusted how aim assist is affected by sniper rifles zoom rating. The lower the zoom, the lower the AA, and vice versa. Scopes with around 50 zoom are unchanged. Lowest zoom scopes have a large reduction in AA cone angle. Highest zoom scopes have a small increase. Auto rifles, adaptive. Damage per bullet reduced from 15.75 to 14.25. Note, prior to the Season of Worthy, damage per bullet was 13.75. Scout rifles. Increased how much each point of the aim assist stat widens to the aim assist cone. At maximum, the aim assist cone is now 15% wider. Rocket launchers. Increased reserves by 1 or 2 rockets depending on inventory stat. Perks. Outlaw. Reload speed increase felt insufficient with certain subfamilies and combinations of rolls. Increased reload stat bonus from plus 50 to plus 70. Merciless. Increased inventory stat from 36 to 55. Mountaintop. Reduced splash damage by 33%, increased impact damage such the total is 5% lower than before. Reduce projectile velocity multiplier from the micro missile from 1.4 to 1.2. Reduced in-air accuracy. Now has significant projectile error while in air. Fallen Guillotine reduced heavy attack damage by 24% to bring in line with other swords. Note, Fallen Guillotine will continue to be slightly above average, just not to the extent that it is now. Mida Multi-Tool and Mida Mini-Tool. Move the Mida Synergy trait to the intrinsic, similar to how Baroque version works. Added the following perks: Hipfire Grip, Kill Clip. Note, there is an issue with the masterwork on this weapon that prevents it from being upgraded. This will be fixed in a later update. Note, the gunsmith will begin selling a version of this weapon on November 10th with no infusion cap. Sturm and Drang. Move the Together Forever trait to the intrinsic, similar to how Baroque version works. Added the following perks: Accurize rounds, moving target. Note, there is an issue with the masterwork, it's the same as the one before. Let's move on. Ruinous Effigy, Transmutation Spears, reduce the damage of the aerial melee attack by 25%, significantly reduce the damage of the drain effect on enemy combatants. Arbalest, no longer strikes shield multiple times, but its efficacy against shielded targets have been increased. Jade Rabbit, armor-piercing rounds swap to high-caliber rounds. This fixes an issue that could prevent the exotic perk from triggering. Traveler's Chosen, reduce muzzle flash intensity. Point of the Stag, increase Point of the Stag's max power level to 1310. Divinity, fixed a bug that prevented some weapons from dealing precision damage to the Divinity cage. Energy type requirements. All the weapon-oriented armor mods have been changed to be any energy type. As a result of the above change, all arc charge with light mods now activate their second perk if you have any other arc mod equipped on the same armor piece, or if you have any other arc charge with light socketed in any other armor piece you are wearing. Enhanced mod rebalancing. All mods that have an enhanced version of that mod have had the base mod's efficacy increased to match that of the enhanced version of the mod. As a result, those enhanced mods have been deprecated and the base mod's energy costs have been adjusted upwards slightly. Some mods have been moved to different slots to create more competition for mod sockets around armor pieces. For example, the Fast Ready mods have been moved to the arm socket. Raid mods. Starting in Season of the Hunt, Last Wish, Garden of Salvation, and the upcoming Beyond Light raid armors will now drop with a 5th dedicated armor mod socket that is exclusively for the mods related to the raid. Anti-Taken mods from the Last Wish will only function during Last Wish. Anti-Hive mods from the Leviathan raids will be deprecated. Anti-Fallen raid mods from Scourge of the Past will be deprecated. Last Wish and Garden of Salvation armor acquired prior to the Season of the Hunt will not have this dedicated armor socket, but will still be able to use the mods related to the raid in which Legacy armor has the mod socket. Combat mods. All armor released in Beyond Light and Season of the Hunt, all Last Wish and Garden of Salvation armor acquired starting in Season of the Hunt, and all 2.0 exotic armor pieces, including those already possessed by players, will have a combat style mod socket. In Season of the Hunt, this socket will accept all Charged with Light and Warmind Cell mods. All Armor 2.0 armor acquired during Season 8 through 11 have had their seasonal mod sockets replaced with a single unified Legacy mod socket that can socket all Charged with Light mods, all Warmind Cell mods, all Nightmare Hunt mods, all Garden of Salvation mods, and all Last Wish mods. Banshee 44 now has a chance to sell armor mods from Black Armory, Season 10, and Season 11. Anti-Champion mods. Anti-barrier rounds will now penetrate Taken Phalanx shields. All anti-champion mods have been shifted to armor rather than taking a weapon mod slot. Abilities. Increase Hunter Dodge cooldown by a few seconds. 22 seconds, the new cooldown's 26. Orbs of Light have been changed to Orbs of Power as they can now be consumed by light and dark subclasses. Vanguard. Remove Legacy Nightfall and Heroic Story mission nodes. Nightfall the Ordeal. Adjusted Adept recommended power level to 1180. Matchmaking is available at 1150. All versions of Nightfall the Ordeal will now fill player ammo at the start of the activity, like Grandmaster has always done. Gambit. Merge Gambit and Gambit Prime into a single mode, single round. Gambit Prime encounters with all large boss combatants reduced in potency. Gambit Prime moat targets and drain. Gambit Prime blockers with the Phalanx taking the place of the Captain for 10 moats. Gambit Prime invasion cadence with longer cooldown between invasions. Thank you. Gambit boss fight with increased primeval health and slayer buff potency. Remove Gambit Prime armor perks. Crucible. Update the Crucible's featured modes: Control, Elimination, Rumble, Glory, Survival. Both Survival and Survival Freelance will be available. Weekly Rotator, Clash, Mayhem, and Showdown. Private matches. Limited availability for Iron Banner and Iron Banner Freelance. Weekend availability is Trials of Osiris. Trials of Osiris power level requirement increased to 1210. Weapons or armor that have ornaments applied to them now correctly show the ornament icon during the Trials intro. Added adept weapons and weapon mods to flawless chest rewards. Additional available information there is on the TWAB. Maps. Added physics blockers to some out-of-bounds areas on Altar of Flame, Exodus Blue, and Cauldron. Monument to Lost Lights. Added the following to the new Monument of Lost Lights vendor in the tower: exotic quest weapons from year 1, most from year 2, exotic season pass and quest weapons from year 3 through 8, 9, and 10, all past pinnacle and ritual quest weapons, vaulted raids exotic weapons. All exotics require an exotic cipher, large amounts of glimmer, a large amount of 1 planetary material, and a small amount of masterworking material. Legendary weapons require a second masterworking material rather than an exotic cipher. Amounts vary between weapons. Added a repeatable source of exotic ciphers. Visit Zur to learn more. Added a new currency, Spoils of Conquest, acquirable only from raids. Spoils of Conquest can be used to acquire vaulted raid exotic weapons from the Monuments to Lost Lights vendor. General. Fixed an issue where dying while holding Riven's heart could cause the heart to disappear. Remove flashpoints. Remove the following Shadowkeep challenges from the Moon: Rune Table, repeatable campaign missions, Nightmare Hunt completion and time trials, Pit of Heresy completion, Garden of Salvation completion. Quest notifications. Added notifications in the player's HUD that display whenever a player acquires a new quest, progresses to a new quest step, and completes the quest. Tracking a quest with an associated map location automatically adds a waypoint to that associated location. Added a shortcut to the current season's triumphs within the seasonal tab for the quest log. There is a bunch of stuff for New Light here. I'm not going to go through it. There's a new vendor in the tower located past the postmaster. The triumphs are now unlocked as part of the New Light experience. You're going to go back to the Cosmodrome. You're going to have a new quest giver, basically, is going to walk you through everything. You'll need to unlock a few quests to play Crucible and Gambit. Strikes are unlocked after completing the first step of the strike introduction. It's kind of like it was before. Probably make a separate video on this for New Light people. So let's move on from there. Miscellaneous. Fixed a bug that prevented online friends from showing up in the roster on Stadia. Fixed a bug that occasionally prevented players from earning progress on bounties when joining an activity in progress. Here's some general things: localization, advanced rendering. There you have it, guys. That was a super long patch note, but it's important that we understand these things when we go in. We're going to have questions about it later. But if you enjoyed the video, a like and a sub would be very much appreciated. We'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.